I wanted to welcome the whole Lewis County Friends situation. You have heard so much about them that you're going to get to hear more about what they do and how they're successful. They are our next spotlight. I talk about them, like I said, in every presentation I give because they are on fire. Their innovative outreach to elected officials, other organizations, and the community at large has increased their ability to fundraise and support their library. They are the 2022 Friends of the Year for a reason, and I'm thrilled to introduce their president, Kelly Medford, to tell us more about building relationships in the community. And she has the rowdiest fan club of our presenters today. I'm going to have to step it up.
Sorry. I'm just moving that a little bit closer. I'm a sound person. Sorry. Oh. Okay. Thank you all so much. And thank you for the introduction. I appreciate that. And I've already done that. Okay. I feel just a little tiny bit of pressure because we really have gotten quite a few mentions today, and it's refreshing because it is really nice to have support for things that you're doing and to be recognized for the efforts that we make. It just does show that our town and our community and our county really does care about the library. And what I hope today I can kind of introduce to you some things that maybe like with our speaker from Tellico Village. I've got like a ton of ideas now, and so I've got all kinds of things. I can't wait to go home. I can tell you I'm so happy and proud that our library director is here today, and that's Crystal Nash. And if you can encourage your library director to attend these kind of things, I mean, this is obviously beneficial to everybody. Let's get started. Let's see if I do this. Right. This is a picture of us, and I would tell you that this was a very purposeful picture that we took. When we apply for grants, when we apply for things, sometimes they want physical proof. They want photo proof of what you're doing. And sometimes, because we get so involved and carried away, we don't always stop to take pictures. And it's very important to do that. And so a few months ago, I was like, let's get everybody we can. And this isn't everyone, and there are some people there we see more often than others, but this was important, and now I have a really great picture to just kind of represent the faces of our group. So I do encourage you all to do that. And, you have your core members. We always have the ones that are the workhorses, and then we have everybody else. But anybody, if you just say it's picture day, or wear your green color, wear your whatever your color is, show up and feed them and take a picture. And it's a really great thing. So that's, as far as first building relationships within your own group, I think that's very important. Let me learn how to use this machine. All right. So as I said, hopefully I can offer at least one good idea in this presentation that I've got. The goal for what I'm wanting to do today in my time is to talk with you and share with you how collaborations and partnerships with other groups have really benefited the way that we operate. And I can't even see our group in the future in any way not continuing what we're doing to work with other groups. And hopefully I can give you some ideas to get successful partnerships within your community. So the first thing is, friends of the library groups work to meet the needs of their own community. Of course. So because of everybody's individual communities, our successes might be just a drop in the hat for so many of you. For us to say that that we can have 2,500 show up for an event, for some of you, that's like, wow, how did you do that? And then for others, that's like, that's a Saturday for us. So your benchmarks might be different, but the approach is what we're going after here. And there are a lot of you who already have figured out that working with other groups in your community is helpful. So for those of you, I applaud you, and hopefully I can give you another path to even more opportunities for that. But our experience and what I'm going to share with you today is going to support that it's a really effective approach. The very first thing is that if you'll notice our neat little logo in the bottom corner, this is our boutique. And talk about stealing, that was a title our library director found online and said, wouldn't that be a great name for your used bookstore? And so somebody somewhere on the planet has a boutique. So we're not the first ones, but we just thought it was a great idea. So that's what we've adopted for our used bookstore that we have. And this process of partnerships and collaborations is how we were able to get our boutique, which I'll share with you in just a few minutes. But obviously, this way of reaching out to other organizations within your community, it's going to help you recruit new members because you're going to be sharing experiences with other groups, and then they're going to go, well, hey, they're fun to hang out with. So all of a sudden, you're going to have a few more people involved. You can obviously host larger events, things that are beyond your core of 2 or 3 or 5 or 7. Whatever your core group is, the most that they can handle, well, you can double that. You can triple that if you get other groups to be involved. So definitely it can help. And when you can put on more events, when you can host more activities, and when other people become aware that you exist beyond just your library group of fans, then you're raising awareness that you are out there and that you are there to support the library and that you're there to do things. And again, that's kind of Captain Obvious, but you don't want to forget that sometimes we end up preaching to the choir a lot. You do your events at the library, and so the people who already go to the library are involved. But if you can find ways to be in other unexpected places, and that's what you'll see in the next few slides, then you reach people that maybe won't ever step into the library, but they will support what you're doing. And so that's important. Increasing advocacy. And getting that more active and vital role in the community is a benefit of all of this. Also, as far as stealing goes, when you work with other organizations, you're going to learn how to do something different or better than what you're already doing. And you wouldn't have otherwise gotten that understanding because they'll go, well, actually, we can do this way because this is how our group always does it. And if your ego can handle it, then you can actually improve how you operate when you learn of other groups and how they work. The snowball effect is real, absolutely. So when you start doing any kind of paired event or paired activity with other groups, then you start getting that reputation of, hey, go talk to them and they'll help you out with this. And then it just kind of mounts and mounts and mounts. And suddenly you're where we are at the point where now we get contacted and people will call and go, hey, can Friends of the Library help out with this? And the more benefit that I'll share with you at the end, we now have reached a point where some groups will go, hey, we want to do this thing for Friends of the Library because we've heard about what you're doing and we know what you're doing for the community and we think it's great. And so that's the big advantage. And so that's when I talk about the bigger reach of this kind of approach is when you can get to that level of cooperation. This little circle, or big, it is big. This big circle is actually all of the different groups that we have collaborated with, partnered with, worked with in some way over the last 2 or 3 years, and that have benefited each of the groups. And I wanted to start with this beautiful core of these 3 lovely ladies up here. This is Joni, Judy, and Glenna. We've got Miss Judy right over there. And when I joined Friends of the Library, these were the 3 ladies. This was the triumvirate right here. That if they had an idea, if they were behind something, then it was going to go. It was going to happen. And what was really neat is all 3 of them were a part of Red and still are Red Hat Society. And let me tell you, if you like to party, these are the ladies, and they get excited about anything that's going to involve having fun. And so if you need to put a little drop of fun into any of your activities, you want to find those red hat ladies. And just for example, I'm just kind of curious, is there anybody in Red Hat Society in your groups in here? There's one. Watch out for her. All right, so these ladies will definitely help you get things done, and that's kind of where we started. Now, as far as a specific partnership, I really can't point at it because there was so much of a collaboration between the two. It was more of a shared structure and shared approach that we gained from Red Hat Society of making sure you put a little bit of fun into everything that you do. And so they were born into that, and that was something that influenced us. But that's kind of where our first idea of partnership or collaborative or learning from other organizations kind of took root. The next thing is kind of combined with our Red Hat ladies. They started saying, well, we would love to get the attention of the county commission and the city government and the county government. So we fed them. We just figured out when their next commission meeting was, and all of our members just made appetizer meals, and we set up this wonderful buffet table. And it wasn't necessarily for a specific purpose other than awareness and kind of planting a seed for what we wanted to see happen in the future, because we knew that at some point we'd have our hand out, and so if we could let them be on their good side, then that definitely helped. And actually, out of our county commission, we've ended up having a few, or one at least, that's now on library board, because we started establishing those relations. National Friends of the Library Week, we always take the example off of ALA for a local proclamation. We pull it and we get our city and our county mayor and put them in a room together and have them sign the proclamation and take a picture. And so this was from several years ago, but that was one of the first examples. And you can see that's a clip from the newspaper, because we also made sure that we let people know what we were doing. This was from another year where we did it again. And from that particular year, we designed a week that actually got us a grant from ALA, an award from ALA. We created NFL Week. And it took me longer than I thought to figure out that National Friends of the Library Week is NFL, and so you can get some attention that way if you call something NFL in October. So we actually had an entire week where each day was something special at the library, and of course people could come in and sign up or be interested, but it was, we had a Pamper Yourself Day where we had a vendor come in that did Mary Kay cosmetics, and so people could come in and get their hand massage and get a little label from Friends of the Library and get that. So another day was our local legislative day, where we invited the county commissioners and city government to come and just enjoy a buffet lunch. So we just kind of put out into the community and through newspaper and social media that we were doing an NFL Week celebration. And every day just kind of got us some attention. Not necessarily from that, but you met earlier this morning our unbearably perfect Helen Osier. And she is our economic and development coordinator for our county and has always been very supportive of the library. So we had a Beatles-themed summer reading program, or music-themed at least, where we could tie Beatles into it. And our wonderful library director wanted to bring a Beatles cover band to come in and do a program. And so in kind of discussing and putting things together, the city government supported us to such a degree that we could put on a show that was free for the public, let them come in and watch the band. It was just very small, and that was our audience that very first year. This is what happened now. So this has become an annual event that people come in from that don't know about our library. I'm not going to say don't care, but they don't know. But they just know that we get a free fireworks show and great music and great food vendors. And this is a library program. And it's because we worked with the city government and Ms. Ozier and our wonderful mayor, Danny McKnight. We collaborate monthly to plan this event when it gets pretty close and make sure that this comes off as a very successful event for the community. And we also have, our city government does a Christmas in Hohenwald event, and because our organization would, I didn't say this, but what we do primarily for that concert event is we provide hospitality to the performing group. And we have a tent so that as people are walking around, they can see our Friends of the Library booth and get information, make donations to our group. And then the band itself, it does gets to have hospitality. Monthly, we do a Christmas in Hohenwald event, and we now have a cocoa stand that we do where people can make donations to us by invitation from the city government. Pilot Club is another group where we have cross membership. Our Pilot Club members that we have that are in our organization and also with them, we've collaborated with them on several events that we've done for for the library, where different organizations come in and we have a day where they actually walk around, and kids come in with their families and they walk around and get pieces of a story as they walk around in a circle. And Pilot Club will have its booth. We'll have a booth. Obviously, that was pirate themed. We had a Little Pigs theme one year. And then Pilot Club gave us a donation because they saw how effective what we were doing for the community worked. And so Pilot Club made a donation to our library because of our effectiveness. And so when we look for things to be involved with that will take more numbers than us, then we seek out Pilot Club's assistance, and they always have members that step up and collaborate with us. Me and another member are a part of an exercise group that meets once a week for a free exercise class. So we talked with them and we said, can we do a fundraiser where everybody just makes a donation at the door? And so they did, and we made a small donation for the library just for exercising one night. It was a simple thing, and we all just had a little bit of a party. But you can see in the drawing, there's our Friends of the Library logo and then the Refit logo together. So we were able to just have a nice little fundraiser for the library because of the exercise group. This is where our school board contacted us and said we're doing a Halloween trick-or-treat event, and we want Friends of the Library to have a booth as part of the different groups that they would come to. That's us with our mayor, Danny McKnight. The library, Friends of the Library has established itself as a group to contact when you need to have people in the community represented in positive ways. Here's the hook right here. The building on the right is our museum, our Natural History Museum. If I had more time, I'd tell you how awesome it is. Right beside that is a depot, and inside the depot is the freight room, or the former freight room. And it has had different hats over the years, but when we just became where there was impossible space at the library to have book sales, so that's why we talked about no storage, no space, we started seeking out where can we go. And based on all of the events that we've been seeing out in the community and doing things in the community, when we called the Chamber of Commerce, they offered this space to us. They said, we know that you would be good stewards of this space and that it would be taken care of. We would love for you to come here. Now, had we not done a more visible thing in the community over the past few years, that offer wouldn't have been there. So now when people come to visit the depot as a historic site, we're there 3 days a week to sell used books, but also to talk about the history of the depot. So we've established a good relationship with our historical society and with our Chamber of Commerce because of our use of this space. And that's our boutique logo right there. I'm almost done. That's just the inside of it. Looks wonderful. And our historical society member and president gave us a donation. So there's a payoff when you can establish these really good relations with everyone. The South Central Area Fair Board, of which Helen Ozier is on the board for that. We've established that we have good relations and that we do great things, so they offered us a space at the exhibit hall for the area fair. That was one of our first years. This next year, or this year, we actually had a smash car event where people could make donations, and we got about $500 from people getting to express their rage. That was nice. We learned that you need more than one car if you're going to do this for 2 or 3 nights, because the car really didn't make it very far. All right, let's see if I can get it to the next slide. We're about done. We have an annual vendor event that a lot of you guys do similar things. We have a Friends of the Library member who's also in Elks Club. So because of Elks Club, they offered to do a pancake breakfast the morning of that dinner, and it benefited both of us. More people came for the breakfast and more to go to the vendor event, and more people came to the vendor event because they knew there would be a nice breakfast at the beginning. This is where this ties up, and I'm really about done. The Lewis County Run Club, we have a library staff member who's also a Friends of the Library member. They came to us and they said, we want to do a 5K fundraiser for the Friends of the Library to benefit the library. Don't do anything. We'll show you the check when we're finished. And that's because we've established ourselves as we are great for the county. We're doing what we can, and of course we're going to help them. We are, but it's just nice that they're saying they're going to take care of everything. So my advice is survey your members. It can be just a casual thing, but it can also be by form or maybe on the membership form. What other organizations are your members a part of? And start there. Join those groups on Facebook so that you know what activities that they are doing. Make sure that you're seeking balanced goals and that you're going to be targeting the same people that you would want to benefit your group, that would care about participating. And do make sure that everybody benefits. So whenever we've had any kind of shared event, we make sure that we thank them as much as we possibly can online, in the newspaper. We do all of the things that we can do. So make sure you recognize and promote everybody involved. This is my last slide. This is the outside of the book sale. And this, at the very bottom right here, is our dream for the library. We want to double the size of the library. We're now crammed into 6,000 square feet. We need 12. And, 4,000 square feet. We need 8. Really plus that. But this is an architect's vision. It's going to take $1 million, really more than that. We are almost halfway there at this point. $429,000 that we've raised for our little group. So we might be looking into those eBay sales. And then you can see our library in the bottom corner. And this is just a neat little video that we've made where you can see the vision hopefully come true. There it goes. Kind of morphs into the dream right there. So that's our goal, and that's what our big picture is. And that's the thing to remember. Whenever we're doing this, we try to make sure that we don't forget what our target is, and we don't want to overcommit. So it's not just say yes to everybody. It's not participate in everything. So don't forget what your target is, and make sure you don't say yes beyond what you like, or what you can easily achieve. But I went a little bit over. I'm sorry, but I'm just trying to go fast. But that is the benefits of a collaborative approach to your organization. You have resources out there that won't cost you a penny more. Even if you have to share profits from a fundraiser, it's still worth it because of the awareness factor and the advocacy factor. So I appreciate your time today. Thank you so much. I don't know if there's any questions.